This is my third card that I designed for this tutorial bundle. It's actually pretty easy, but I think it's pretty. I like it. Hopefully you do too. So let's get started. Just need all my bits and pieces over here. Alright, so I'm going to show you the colouring, and as per usual I have pre-prepared them so that you don't have to watch me doing heaps and heaps of colouring, but I am just going to show you one. So we're going to stamp our flower onto the bottom corner of the insert, and then I need my blender pen, and starting with the flower, it doesn't matter, you can do the flower or you can do the leaf when your brain just suddenly decides to fry. Alright, I'm going to start off with picking up quite a bit of the gorgeous grape ink, so I want it quite dark going around that center. And of course we can always go and add more ink if we want it darker. And then once you've got your center nice and dark, then pick up a bit less ink. And just looking for a bit of paper to scribble on. Okay, this isn't my ink pad, but we can just do that to get a bit of it off. And then colouring lightly. So I do want my petals coloured, but I do want them lighter than the centre. A bit of a problem when you have to concentrate so hard on your colouring that you can't remember what you're trying to say. And you can see on my pad here, I've got bits there where obviously I've done some colouring and spread it, but it is less ink, so it is picking up lighter. Okay. Right. And then I'm going to pick up my Peaceful Pine. Now, I don't know that I've been terribly successful. Oh, there we go. I was going to say I haven't been very successful in squishing the new ink pads, and it looks like that actually squished okay. If you're struggling with the squishing, then just take a block, dip it into your ink, and it will pick up you can pick up the ink from there. Now, looks like I've made a bit of a boo-boo here because I think that I didn't use Peaceful Pine for my colouring. I may have used Mossy Meadow, but okay. My insert is now Peaceful Pine. Hopefully nobody looks too closely at the insert and the outside of the card, because like I said, my outsides are already coloured. Okay, so all I've done is make the inside of the leaf, or I guess the more central part of the leaf and the more central part of the flower darker, and the rest is just left. And sorry about that. Of course, we would have somebody ringing the doorbell while I go live. Bell hasn't rung the whole day today. And now I've done the same thing on my oval. So I've stamped the sprigs of the flowers and coloured them in the exact same way. And I'm just going to stamp my sentiment over here. You could stamp the sentiment first, and then once you've got that positioned, you can see where you want to stamp your flowers. So whatever you're more comfortable with. whatever works best for you. Now again, if you wanted to, you could stamp flowers here. I haven't done that just because we are going to cover them up. So there we go. I have my colored and die cut flowers over here, and I'm just going to stick my pretty oval onto my plain oval. Sort of centered, I hope. And then I'm going to stick my flowers on so that they're going along the bottom. There's no exact right or wrong place to stick them, just wherever you think they look pretty. And like I said, some of those are going to get covered up, but hopefully not all of them up the side, but if they are, I probably would rather have them, okay, we're going to have one peeping out over there, and I would rather have them stamped than and covered up than not have it stamped and then it looks weird. And definitely once I've stuck my flowers, I can't go back and re-stamp. Now, I don't often use a white card base, but every now and again it really works. But when I do, I need a colored mat, so we're going to put my gorgeous grape mat down. And my embossed piece. And yes, we did specifically decide that we were going to use the Fern and Flora embossing folder with these cards just because they work so well with the violets. But I have to say that I love this embossing folder, and I've cut that too big. Oh goodness. Give me a second, let me just grab my trimmer. I'm going to have a gluey sticky trimmer, but that's okay, I will sort that out later. And hopefully, yes, there we go, cut it down to the right size. Okay, sometimes my brain just doesn't work, and I thought I'm so well prepared and cut everything. And now we're going to do the same for the inside. Yep, that's the right size, so we're good. And again, I just like that border on the inside. If you wanted to, you could cut some things out of, you could cut some flowers or little bits and pieces of frame, whatever, out of that mat so that you don't waste it, because when it's covered up, nobody's going to see that there's a hole in the middle. And then we need some dimensionals here. And of course we need some of these flowers because everything needs some bling, so I'm just going to put one over there, and I'm going to put one in the middle here. I know that some people say you should have odd numbers, but for me 2 works just fine on here.